Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. Because in yesterday's video right here, when we were trading above the 0.5 level, I was saying, guys, potentially this is breaking out, but this 4-hour candle close, it was literally this one right here, can still close below. And if that happens, then you should be looking lower to this 0.382 level. Now, what actually ended up happening is we got one straight candle down to this level. So that's pretty insane. And I'm happy that I was able to warn you guys in yesterday's video. So after that, we got a nice bounce from this 0.382 Fibonacci level, sitting at 57K once again. And now in the present, we are in the middle between these two Fibonacci levels right here. And in terms of resistance to the upside, you could be looking at this 0.5 level, sitting at 59.5K. Now, besides that, taking a look at the bigger support and resistance levels for Bitcoin, right now, we do have this resistance to the upside sitting from 60,000 all the way up to 62.4K. And as of the time of recording, we are bouncing from this big level of support here, sitting from 58,000 all the way down to 56,000 US dollars. Now, in terms of the momentum here, because for now we are just bouncing between this big level of resistance and this big level of support. For example, if you see something like this below this 56K level, then likely we need to look much lower in the Bitcoin price, because the next big level of support below that is sitting from 53 all the way down to 50,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. So keep an eye on that. And in terms of resistance to the upside, if you see Bitcoin breaking above this 62.4K level, then likely we are going higher after that as well. For example, up to this next big level of resistance from 65 all the way up to 66,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. One other thing that is noteworthy is something that I talked about in yesterday's video, which is this channel between these two white lines here. And as soon as we confirmed a break below on the lower time frames, below this 58.5K level, roughly speaking, we immediately saw a big drop to the downside of about 4% to the downside. Either way, for now, we are getting a bit of a bounce and are now retesting this previous level of support as a level of resistance. So I would say right now, this is an important moment to pay attention to the Bitcoin price, to see what happens between now and later today when we actually get this candle close. Because again, if we close inside this range here, then potentially we can just see some more sideways price action or a move back to the top of the range. And of course, as I mentioned in yesterday's video as well, if you see a breakout above this previous level here at about 62.6K roughly, then I do think, again, likely we are going to much higher price action after that. So keep that in mind. Although if we close this daily candle below this level here, and let's say that you see something like this, where you just see a clear rejection on the lower time frames, then basically we are just in a downtrend, so long as we do not break out of this descending line of resistance, in my personal opinion at least. And by definition, in a downtrend, you would expect to see continuous lower lows and lower highs in the price until you actually get a change of structure, which in this case would be breaking above this line of resistance and then making a higher high above this previous one here. Next, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. First of all, on the 3-day time frame, right here, you can see that there's a lot of liquidity at 60,000 US dollars, about $250 million worth of short positions that would get liquidated if the Bitcoin price reaches this level. And in fact, there is another $250 million worth of short positions that would get liquidated at 62,000 US dollars. So I do think at some point we are going to take out these levels of liquidity, although of course I cannot know if we are first going to grab the liquidity to the downside here at about 55.5K. Now, to me, this looks more likely that we are going to grab this liquidity first, although we do, of course, have to pay attention to some of the resistance levels to the upside that we would need to break before we would actually grab all of this liquidity here. So again, I would say pay attention to the technical analysis that I showed you earlier in this video, as well as just doing your own analysis. Lastly, taking a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today. On Thursday, we saw a net inflow of about $11 million, so a very, very small inflow. And the market didn't really have a clear direction at that time. So basically, there were a roughly equal amount of buyers as well as sellers. and therefore we were seeing this neutral price action for quite a bit. Now, of course, in tomorrow's video, we are going to see the net inflow or outflow for Friday, and then the ETFs stop trading over the weekend. Although I will continue to update you guys on everything that happens in the crypto markets. So if you want to stay up to date with what is going on, then make sure to subscribe to my channel with notifications on so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I'm also really trying to reach 5,000 subscribers, so if you can help me with that by subscribing, I would really appreciate it. Either way, if you do end up subscribing or not, this has been today's market update. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.